How do you use a retro business plan to grow your cleaning business? That's a great question. I'm Angela Brown, and this is Ask a House Cleaner. This is a show where you get to ask a house cleaning question, and I get to help you find an answer. Now, if you go to askahousecleaner.com, right there in the corner is a blue button. When you click on that blue button, you can send a message to me here at the show. Now, a new cleaning business owner called in and she asked this question.
Hi, Angela. I'm going to be starting a cleaning business in the spring, and I was wondering if you had any thoughts on maybe what I could be doing now to prepare for starting the business. I am going to hire a couple of people to do the actual cleaning. I'm not able to do it myself. And so kind of where I'm stuck is I'm not sure how to hire people to help or to do the cleaning without having homes for them to clean, but how do you get homes without having people to clean them? I would appreciate any thoughts at all that you have on that. And I appreciate your show.
Alrighty, this is a tough question. Do you get the customers or the employees first? And how does that work? Okay, you are in a very unique situation because you do not have the luxury of jumping in and cleaning for a little bit and kind of figuring it out as you go. So I'm going to give you some advice that I've probably never given to anyone on this show before, and that is this. You need a business plan and a retro business plan because you're probably going to have to go ask for a loan. And I say a loan because you need to run advertisements and you need to run recruitment ads because this is not a business where by word of mouth, based off the type of work that you've done, you're going to be getting referrals from existing happy customers. You have no customers yet and you're starting from scratch. So what you need in order to get the loan is you have to sit down and figure out, what does my business plan look like? And so what we need to figure out first are, what are your costs? Because we don't know how many homes you need and how many employees you need until you know what your costs are. So what will you be spending money on? And this is the part of the business plan. Will you be having employees that are wearing uniforms, and what kind of uniforms and how much do those cost? We need to know exactly how many uniforms per week we need to purchase based on how many employees we will have. What kind of cleaning supplies are they going to use? Where are you going to buy your cleaning chemicals? Are you going to provide vacuums and mops and Swiffer dusters and sponges and all those things? How much does that cost? And then we have to figure out how much of those do we use on each individual home, because we don't know how many we need until we know how many employees and how many homes, right? We got to figure that stuff out. How are the people going to get to the jobs? We've got to figure out vehicles and vehicle expenses and vehicle insurance. We have to figure out all of the costs of running the business. For every employee, you have employee taxes that have to be paid to the government. You also have workers' comp that you have to pay to the insurance company. And so there are general liability policies, there are tool and equipment policies, there are different policies you're going to need. How much does that cost? So once you figure out all of the costs per employee, then we got to figure out how many homes do we have to pay for that. And then we have to figure out how many employees do we need to pay for the homes that we have. Okay, so there's a business plan that has to happen. That's your task for right now. All right, once you get your business plan in place, we have to create what's called a retro business plan. And that's where you go to the very end of the relationship. So for example, if a customer is going to hire you, at some point, they might also fire you. So what is it that's going to happen for a customer to fire you? And you have to figure that out right now before you even start your business. Okay, why would a customer fire you? They would fire you because you have employees that are unreliable, because the employees are dishonest and they steal things, because they have clumsy employees that break things. You have employees that have not been trained and they damage property, surfaces and appliances and things like that because they don't know their chemical safety, things like that, okay? So those are the reasons customers will fire you, along with other things like they may lose their job or whatever, okay? There are reasons, but you have to figure out those before you get there. Then you have to go over to the employee side and say, if I hire employees, why would those employees quit and go to another company? It's going to be because they start their own cleaning companies. It's going to be because you don't have a strong company culture, because they don't feel needed and appreciated, because they have difficult customers that haven't been dealt with. There are going to be a series of things that would cause an employee to quit on you. And you have to figure out all of those things before you start your business. So you're in an unusual situation where you don't get to kind of like figure it out as you go with help, because you yourself won't be cleaning. And so everything that you're going to be doing, you have to do before you actually get there. Does that make sense? So it's a business plan and a retro business plan. Because when you go and you sit down and you talk to a banker and you say, I need a small business loan, they're going to ask you a series of questions. You need to be prepared and say, this is exactly how much this is going to cost. This is how I'm going to do this. This is what happens if everything goes south, right? And then they'll say, okay, here you go. You sound like you've thought this through, and they're going to give you the money. That will give you the money to get started. And then you just follow the plan you have created from now until the spring. All righty, there you go. We'll fill in the gaps. We'll help you as you go. But that's what you need to be doing and focusing on right now. All right, I hope this helps. If it does, give us a thumbs up. If you have questions or comments, those go in the notes below. And if you're starting a small cleaning business and you've got lots of questions, don't miss this playlist. It will answer a lot of them and save light years off the learning curve. All right, until we meet again, leave the world a cleaner place than when you found it.